The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 11, Master. Good morning, Vera says upon walking into the kitchen. Good morning, Sarah replies. She's standing in front of the stove, flipping pancakes in a pan. How'd you sleep? She asks as Vera opens the fridge. Good. I had a fun dream. I was chasing down something, but I kept being distracted by my talking sword, she replies, causing Sarah to laugh. You had a talking sword? Sarah asks as Vera takes out a carton of milk. The monster crystal lighting the fridge starts blinking as she does. I have weird dreams, Vera replies in confusion while looking at the blinking light. Why is the fridge blinking? She asks after a moment. The oven is opposite of the fridge, so Sarah didn't see it. She turns around and sighs upon seeing it. That means that the crystal powering the fridge is almost out. I'll get one from the dorm supervisor later, Sarah says as Vera closes the fridge. Will it cost any points? No, anything maintenance-wise is free, well, provided we aren't responsible for breaking it. Otherwise, we'll have to pay for it, along with a fine. Where do you learn these things? Vera asks, causing Sarah to laugh once again. It's in the document we got after choosing our dorm. It lists all the things we're responsible for here and what to do. It even tells us where to take our trash and the like. Sarah replies as Lorik walks into the kitchen. Good morning, he says before getting a cup of water. Morning. How was your couch? Sarah asks sarcastically. Great, much better than a bed. Lorik replies, causing her to sigh. She takes the last pancake off the pan before turning to Lorik. Can you run back up and get Rowan? She asks. He's already up. He said he'll be down in a bit. Lorik replies before walking out to the living room. Sarah and Vera are already sitting on the couches. They each have a plate full of pancakes. Do you want to take a look at the auction later? Sarah asks before taking a bite. I'd like to. I doubt there will be anything good, but I'm still curious what they'll have. Lorik replies before Rowan walks in. He's carrying a plate of pancakes. What are you talking about? He asks while sitting down. The auction, Sarah replies. Are we going there? Rowan asks. Yeah, we might as well. We can see if they can appraise the bracelet we got yesterday, too. Sarah says, causing Vera to look surprised. I forget about that, she says, causing Lorik to chuckle. How do they appraise it? Mages who are 5th tier or above can appraise items, at least if their law lets them. There are over 100 laws that can appraise items, so there will be someone at the trading hall who can appraise it, as long as the item contains traces of law at least. Rowan replies. Speaking of mages, I have a question about them. How do humans comprehend their laws? Vera asks. I'm asking because I think demons comprehend them differently. Well, how do demons comprehend laws? Lorik asks. We sense them after turning 18, but then we just meditate to learn them. I think it's similar to Sarah's law bloodline. We just have to choose from a handful of laws, but we seem to get them at random. Vera replies. Generally speaking, humans comprehend laws from what we call a law carrier, Lorik says before holding his right hand out. Mist pours out of his green ring. A plant with 3 long purple leaves appears from the mist on his palm. Its leaves are 5 inches long and have a dark red streak in the center. It looks similar to a flower, just with 3 leaves instead of petals. What is that? Sarah asks as she feels the breath of law coming from the plant. This is called a violet illusion flower. It's an alchemy ingredient, but also a law carrier. It contains the law of illusions, but the law is strong enough to comprehend the law from, he explains. What happens when you comprehend the law from it? Does it lose its law? Vera asks. Yes, but in the process, the container of the law will shatter. When we comprehend laws from a carrier, the law leaves its container and enters our body. This destroys the object and is the most commonly used method to comprehend laws. This makes law carriers pretty valuable, but they're also rare, since law carriers have to contain large amounts of their law. If it's only a trace of law or a bit of it, then you can't comprehend it from it. But there's another way to comprehend laws. That would be to study it as it occurs in nature. This is how I comprehended my law of the hunt. But it takes more time and is more complicated than using law carriers, Lorik explains. That sounds complicated, Vera says, causing Sarah to laugh. It is. That's why people prefer the expensive law carriers, Sarah says. They finish eating while talking about law carriers. Lorik explains where he got his flowers and why they're rare. Monsters instinctively know that eating them can make them stronger, so they get devoured quickly. Since they have to occur in nature, they can't be grown or cultivated. Once they're done eating and talking, they leave and go to the castle. They're going to report to Cerilda that they've finished their task. They walk down the familiar path lined with trees with blue leaves. Once they've entered the castle through the same side door, Sarah leads them back to the same room from before. I didn't think to ask this before, but is it really fine for us to just enter the castle like this? Vera asks as they walk up the stairs. Yes, as long as you're with us at least. But soon you should be fine to come on your own, at least when it's to report to Master Cerilda. Rowan replies before they stop in front of a door. Rowan opens it and the four of them enter. Inside, Cerilda is waiting and drinking tea. I was wondering when you'd get here, Cerilda asks as the four walk over. Sorry for making you wait. It was late when we finished the task, so we decided to wait until today. Sarah says, It's fine. I was told by the Academy when you completed the task, Cerilda replies. Is that something the Academy does? Tell others when we complete tasks? Lorik asks. Only if they're your master. Since you four are all officially my disciples now, they told me. Cerilda replies, causing him to groan. Does that mean I have to call you master now? Lorik asks, causing her to nod. Cerilda just stares at him expectantly for a few seconds. Fine, master. So what's next? Lorik asks. You and Vera are to become 7th-tier lesser mages. The same goes for you two as well. Cerilda says while looking at Sarah and Rowan. But I have some training planned for you two, so you'll be leaving the academy for a few days, probably a week, she adds. What about us? Is there any training for us? Vera asks excitedly. No, the training I've prepared for them was selected to help comprehend their laws. But I've never seen or read anything about your laws, so I have no idea where to begin your training. That said, if you need anything or have any ideas, come tell me. I'll still do everything in my power to help you grow. Cerilda explains. Would we be able to go back to the academy before our training? They're holding an auction at noon and we wanted to see what they have. Sarah asks. Yeah, that'll be fine. Just be back before nightfall. Oh, and you two, let me see your bracelets. Cerilda says while reaching out to Lorik and Vera. The two hold up their wrists with their communications bracelet. Cerilda places her hand on it and manipulates her law. They light up and a screen appears above them. It says that Cerilda was registered as their master, and to either confirm or deny if it's correct. The both of them pull their hands back before confirming. The screen fades away, and the light disappears. All right, now you can message me on that. If you accept any tasks or leave the academy for any reason, be sure to let me know. It'll also give me your location, but I won't be checking it unless I lose you. Cerilda says before standing up. Anyway, I have to go. I've got some paperwork to help complete. Also, you might want to go to the auction early. That is if you want the best seats. Cerilda adds before leaving. She just disappears, having used her law of space to teleport. What time is it? Sarah asks as they stand up. It's a bit before 11. Should we head to the auction now? Lorik asks. Really? How much time did we spend eating? Anyway, yeah, let's go. We still need to get the bracelet appraised. We can also sell the crystals before it starts. Sarah replies before walking out of the room. The four leave the castle and return to the academy. Along the way, they pass a lot of students returning as well. They're all coming back from completing tasks or running errands. Most of them head toward the trading hall. There, a large crowd is forming outside. The four of them walk right inside and up to the counter. The hall has 2 floors. The first is open and mainly for pickups and selling. There are displays of valuable items on the walls. Only some of them are for sale. The second floor has a lot of shelves and displays of products available to buy. They're all locked behind glass to prevent theft. Should the glass break, the guards will immediately know and come running. There are 4 people behind the large counter. It's easily 20 feet wide, giving each person 5 feet between them. There are 3 floors underneath, 2 of which are storage. The first floor under their feet is the auction floor, which they're preparing for already. Welcome. Are you here for the auction? The man behind the counter asks as they stop in front of him. Yes, but first we wanted to sell some crystals. We also wanted to get an item appraised. Sarah replies before Vera takes out all the crystals. All right, let's take care of those crystals while we wait for an appraiser, he says after turning around. He pressed a button on the wall behind him. Behind each employee, there's a row of 3 small buttons. He pressed the middle button just now. Each one is blue and has no symbol on it. He takes the crystals and places them on a circular stone. It lights up faintly and a number appears in the air above them. The number is 548. The crystals will come to 548 points. Will you be splitting these between the 4 of you? Yes, Sarah replies. Then that'll be 137 points for each of you. The man says as a woman quickly walks up next to him. Are you the one who called for an appraisal? She asks. Yes, here's the item. The man says while handing her the bracelet. He had grabbed it from the counter when the woman walked up. The woman takes it and closes her eyes. A faint white light appears around the bracelet. She closes her eyes and places it back on the counter. It's called a hobgoblin's bracelet. It slightly increases its wearer's strength and defense. It's a low-level bronze accessory, the woman says before turning around and leaving. What does low-level bronze accessory mean? Vera asks after she leaves.